Today, today we are here at the Burton Score, and I don't have my mask on because, I just don't feel like it today. Anyway, we are in the Burton Cave with Ty Easy and
T-Rav.
We are here to talk about, what do you want to talk about? We have a list. What would you like to start off with?
We've got a lot to cover. So, first thing we need to cover is we just got back from driving around town, running some errands. Had to go grab us a Dunkin', and we get stuck behind some old people driving down the road. If anybody knows me in my Snapchat posts, I do a lot of rants about older people. Nothing against old people. But
we need old people, therefore
we do. I'd be out of a job if we didn't have old people.
Yeah.
But long story short, we're coming down a main drag, and it's a green light at a major crossing, and they're stopping at the green light. They're pumping their brakes and slowing down, like they're doing 45, and then they slow down to like doing 15 at a green light, and there's nobody around, and I'm following these people, and guess what kind of vehicle they're driving? A Buick Century.
Probably about a 2000 model,
Oh no,
98,
it's late 90s.
late
I'm sure.
90s. Yeah.
So for some reason, especially in this area, retired people, old retired people, like I'm talking not like just old, retired. There's a lot. Hell, anybody can be retired, but like I'm talking old retired people, like in their late 70s, early 80s. Apparently like to drive Buick Centuries, and they're either gold or maroon, like a burgundy color.
Yeah, definitely maroon or burgundy.
This one just so happened to be burgundy colored, and I don't know.
Every once in a while you'll find a gold one or like a pale blue, but those are the ones that actually know how to drive. But it's always the ones that always buy the dark reddish ones, and they take their time. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday, if they're going to church, if they're going to an event. They have 4 lanes, and they will take up all of them somehow, some way. It doesn't matter. They own the road. They've lived long enough where they don't give a fuck about anybody else. And we have to deal with it. In which, sorry, I derailed.
Well, I mean, you come from a metropolitan area.
Yeah,
it's significantly worse in your situation, but here living in a small town, like I do, it's pretty frustrating, especially if you're running late to work or something like that. There's absolutely no reason to stop at a green light. I've never been able to figure that one out. They're not on their phone because they don't know how to use cell phones, so that's not slowing them down. But it's when you hit a certain age, and I think everybody has talked about this previously. When you hit a certain age, you should get retested for your driver's license.
And the plot thickens.
Yeah. The problem with that is people are going to get pissed off, and then they're...
Well, I've been driving for 100 years. I don't need a test.
Yeah, it probably will cause more problems to do that, but at the same time, it would get them off the road, and there'd be probably less wrecks on the road as well. But yeah, this is something that we just dealt with literally right before we got back here. I don't understand why it's always a gold or a burgundy Buick Century. Why is that the only vehicle they drive? Or a Chrysler Concorde, a Buick LeSabre, something like that. It's always it's the exact same model car for all these senior citizens. Did they run some kind of sale for senior citizens, like in a 5-10 year span for these people? I don't understand.
Well, I mean, if
that's the ugliest damn car. You couldn't pay me to drive one.
And coming from a metropolitan, it's you do have those people that buy the Buicks, but in a metropolitan, a lot of the older people buy expensive cars. We're talking like Mercedes-Benz. You have all the other cars. I mean, think about it. You've been alive for how long? You're working all your life. Maybe you're not rich. Maybe you are rich. Either way, you're on Social Security. You don't have to work anymore. So you're able to drop that down payment on a car. For some reason, the cars they choose are Mercedes or Buicks. So Buicks are for the middle class, I'm guessing, and Mercedes are for the rich class. That's one thing that I've noticed. And there's no in between. What old person goes, you know what, I'm going to buy a Ford F-150? No one. No old lady or old man's gonna buy a Ford F-150, a Taurus.
They probably don't need to.
You know, they're the ones that should be doing mandatory Ubers. You need to go somewhere, you're gonna go in an Uber. Someone's driving you. They're gonna drive you to save a lot. They're gonna drive you to the gas station to get more cigarettes or, you know, whatever. That's what needs to happen. Or you take a driver's test. That's what needs to happen, in my opinion. Granted, I'm not in office. You know, so.
Well, another issue is what that brings up a whole other scenario that I was about to get into is even if you do retest them, what happens if they fail it? They can't drive home because their license.
Pay for an Uber to get them home. You don't want them there in your office anymore.
Impound their car.
Yeah.
Or you also have I don't know.
You're gonna do well. What's gonna happen is so they fail. They're gonna start crying. Oh, I went to war. I defended my country and all bullshit.
Or they can't if they are still working. They can't drive to work. But yeah, you can take a cab. You can Uber, but that costs money. So
well, I mean, it's
a situation.
We're talking about again. We love old people. We love the gifts they give to their grandchildren.
Where would they be without? I mean, where would we be without them?
You know, and you know, but the fact of the matter is, they should not belong on the road.
Unless we're driving them.
Correct. We're their children. They take care of us. We take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. You know, and you know, I mean, yeah, our dad is 62.
60. I think he's just 60.
61. Let's say 61 for shits and giggles. And he drives a hot rod. He has 10 of them.
He's got multiple hot rods.
You know, and he still is able to follow the rules on the road.
Hell, every time I pull up, he wants to drive my car and raise hell in it.
You know, and
it's crazy, man. But yeah, that's well, getting past that. Not only that, but which also leads us into another subject. So I work. I'd like to say I work in a technology industry, but so what I've been seeing a lot lately is people are buying their elderly family members smartphones, and currently they have like an old like slider phone or a flip phone. So they still sell flip phones right now.
Are the phones smarter than the human beings?
Once you hit a certain age, yeah.
Just had to make sure.
So if they're not comfortable with it, don't buy them a smartphone. If you're thinking about buying your grandparents or your elderly parents or a family relative a phone, buy them another flip phone. They still sell them. They're great phones. You don't have to worry about them. There's no reason to buy a senior citizen a smartphone if they've never used one. But I want to FaceTime with them. Do you really think they want to FaceTime with you? No, they don't. It's not worth the trouble. But if, and this is a big if, the senior citizen does want a smartphone and they want to try it out and they think they've got they've got all the time in the world.
The itch for technology.
Yeah, they've got all the time to actually mess around with it. By all means, do it. But you better show them how to use it. That's all I'm saying. It's not up to the technology stores in your local town to train them to use your phone. It's your job as a family member because you bought them that phone. Just letting you know. But yeah, I just had to get off my chest because we're there to sell stuff. We're not there. We literally we don't make money off training people how to use phones. That is not our job. That's like if you're selling books. You're not there to teach them how to read. You're just selling the books. Like, it's not your fault if they didn't go to school. You can't sit there at a bookstore and be like, this word is this. This is how you spell this. Sound it out for me. That's not your job. That's just...
There is one thing I would like to say about that. I mean, think about it. You know, I remember our grandmother having a rotary phone where you'd anybody that doesn't know what this is, you need to look this up on the Google machine.
She still had it until the day she died.
She gave it. Yeah, I took it. And so you take
it.
It
was so loud when it rang.
and you would go, and each number you'd wait. It would go all the way back. Now, again, the people that do know what this is, you know exactly what I'm saying. That's how they know. And maybe they grew up during the 90s where they pressed a button for each number. Now that's easy to use. But now they make cell phones where, it detects breath. And it's too sensitive for people. That I was at Smithville with our dad, and the phone rang. And it was a phone just like this. I'll never forget it. And so it was ringing and ringing, and I was sitting here, they were over here, and this old man gets up, and he's like trying, because he sees that there's a line between right here. So he's trying to break it like a flip phone, and it won't open, and it just stops ringing because the phone's already over with ringing. And I'm just like...
Calls ended. What was he trying to do?
He didn't realize that you could access it on the face side.
Oh, he didn't understand it was touchscreen.
Right.
He's trying to flip open a smartphone.
Yes. And I was like, wow. There's a missing link here. And so I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So long story short, not trying to rant too much.
Or bring down the old people.
And we're not, it's... I'm just going to say this and leave this out there. And I swear to you, I'm not trying to be an asshole. We're not trying to be assholes here. That's not our job. But this is a daily thing that we deal with every day. And he's not even in the technology business. But it's just like, it's something we see every day. And it just gets old, honestly. Cell phones have been out for almost 30 years now. Once again, cell phones have been out for almost 30 years now. There is absolutely no reason that you shouldn't know how to use one. If you live in the sticks out in the hollers, like I hear this all the time, I'm not technology. That's what these people say. They say, I'm not technology. What the hell does that even mean?
So what you're saying is you rather have like a technology class, or would you? What would you prefer these people do?
Well, first of all, that's not even proper grammar. I'm not technology. That's not even a complete sentence. What that is they're not technology savvy, technologically inclined. So if you don't know how to do any of that, you don't know how to use a smartphone, just buy a flip phone. For the love of God, they still sell them. Just buy a flip phone. Just do calls and texts. You have no business being on the internet anyway. Okay? Once again, I'm trying not to be a dick. It's just like every single day. So yeah.
Let take all the steam off you. Let me bitch for a minute, all right? So it's like, I work in the fine dining world, and you have all works of life come in there to eat dinner, and they order and they read the menu, and most older people be like, or give me the chicken, or give me something that's good. It's like, sir or ma'am, you have eyes, you can read, you can ask questions, you can do whatever you want. No, all they're wanting to do is, you know what, just give me a hamburger and take me on my way. It's like, well then,
at a 5-star restaurant.
Why would you walk in there? Go to McDonald's is across the street, man. We're here. The dinner may cost $100. Sorry. But there's no drive-through. There's no milkshakes. So ask questions. And the elderly are good at that. They know what they want to drink. That's for damn sure. It's probably something on the rocks or straight because they have guts of steel. Or they just don't care. They're ready to die. But the point is that, the technology world and the food world is connected in this disaster of elderly people. And all we're doing is trying to address the issue that we're not trying to bitch, but we need your help.
Yes, please help. Don't pawn your elderly on people who are out in the public working their butts off. We're trying to sell stuff. It's rough. It's rough. But anyway, Which leads us to another thing, since we were going on the topic of cell phones, spam calls.
Yes.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph. All right, so
I'm going to find them. Go ahead, talk.
So there used to be a website that you could Google it and it'd be on the no-call list for spam calls. So it used to work, kind of. Now it doesn't work at all. The no-call list is pretty much useless. And now if you call it, they're going to start calling you because it's part of the spam thing. So apparently what they've got is they've got computers that literally pick random numbers and they call you from them using a computer system. Whoever these people are, they literally have no life. And they're just trying to destroy our lives.
I feel it.
Once again, being in the technology industry, it sucks because I get questions about it all the time. How do you stop these spam calls? I was like, there's nothing you can do. Basically, if it doesn't show up somebody's name that you know on your phone, don't answer it. Just let it ring or hit silent. If you answer that phone call, they're going to branch your phone number out to about 20 other phone numbers, and they're going to call you from all those numbers. I've received a spam call from my own phone number. My own phone number was calling me. It's ridiculous. But, I mean, obviously, I'm not calling myself, so I knew it wasn't a legit call. So that's something else to tell the elderly. Don't answer the phone if you don't know what the number is.
Actually, to kind of cut you off, there was a guy at work who he got a phone call, and he went to go in the back corner of the kitchen, and he was like, comes back, you would not believe the story. We're like, what happened? He goes, my dad apparently signed up for some spree on some telephone number, scammed him for $1,000, and now he just lost $1,000 to a fake cell phone number.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm going back to work.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that.
I've heard of people getting scammed pretty bad.
You know.
They're like, give us your credit card number and we'll stop these calls, or your account's been hacked. We need you to pay this fee. It's all garbage. If you don't know the number, do not answer it. Just hit silent. Don't decline the call. Just let it ring in silent. What I did is I actually created a because I was getting like 15 and 20 calls a day. I'm talking right after each other, just one after another, and it got bad. And I was getting on both my work phone and my personal phone. And so what I did was I created a voicemail that lasts about 30 seconds, and it says, "This is me. If you're not trying to reach me, don't call back. Please hang up. If this call's not for TRAV, there's no reason for you to be calling me. Don't call back again. Also, if you're calling about insurance or my social security number or me trying to buy something, I'm not interested. Please don't call back."
And he's not kidding the way it sounds, because it's very hesitant. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
It's a drawn-out voicemail.
Drawn-out message. And even me, I'm his relative. I'm like, I don't want to talk to you now.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like, if you wait 20 seconds for the phone to stop ringing, and then you try to leave a voicemail, and you listen to a 30-second voicemail, there's something wrong with you if you're going to still leave a message. So, I've actually still been getting voicemails. I've gotten 2 today that says, "Hi, April. We're still wondering if you're still interested in health insurance. We're about to run out on our promotion, so please give us a call." And I'm like, did you not hear my message that says, "Hey, this is TRAV. Do not call me if you're not here for TRAV." And they still do it. So it's all a bunch of scams and stuff like that. So just be aware of that. There's nothing you can do about spam calls right now.
No.
Until the government finds every one of these nerds in their basement and in their parents' houses, like coming up with these weird computer programs. There's nothing you can do about it.
The best form of advice that I could give you, which, anytime you walk up to somebody and ask for their phone number, or they ask you for their phone number, put your name. Hey, listen, you have my number, put my name in there. All right? That way, when it pops up on your phone, a number pops up. No, every number's saved. If I don't have your name coming up, I'm not answering it.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Or a voicemail. For me. Now, I never get a voicemail sales pitch ever, so that's a first for me.
Wow.
So, but like again, I keep getting 865 numbers, 423 numbers, you know, all these other random area codes in Massachusetts and stuff. I've never been to Massachusetts. So would anybody want to call me there? I have no idea. But, so try to figure out what these numbers are and like, wait, did I know that person? Did I piss on her car? Or, you know, try to remember where these numbers come from. Maybe it may help, it may not.
Yeah, just if somebody calls you and you know who they are, yeah, save them as a contact right after they call you.
You have to write down that crazy bitch, save, you know, whatever works.
You probably have a lot of those.
I
Do you have to do like 1, 2, 3?
Yes. A's and B's and
A,
triple A's.
Okay.
You know, enough about that.
But yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.